that was within our budget. Dex Imaging recommended a Kyocera with their index solution. It's been amazing. This machine does everything we need it to, including a direct scan into our current electronic medical record software. Dex even trained us on how to use it. Dex has been a tremendous help in making our practice and my job more efficient.
Thanks, Judy. And remember, call Dex Imaging today for a free workflow analysis to find out how you can save 20 to 30% on your copying and document management needs, just like Graper Facial Institute. Dex Imaging, 352-224-1816. That's 224-1816.
All right, 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Charlotte Reed is on the phone. Charlotte was going to come into the studio one of these days, Dan.
What? I keep hearing this.
So far, no show, right? She has teamed up with Dr. Michael C. Fleck, and the two of them have been out and about lately. They call Florida home sometimes. They're not here often, I don't think. They live down in Sarasota or Bradenton, someplace. And they were in New York not too long ago at the car show. They were at the Kentucky Derby, and we missed their call. But I think they're at the Preakness Stakes right now. We were just talking about whether or not jockeys are athletes, and everybody seemed to agree that they are. Charlotte Reed and Dr. Michael Fleck, good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm happy to be here, and I feel so horrible. We tried reaching you so many times. Just for some reason, it didn't work out when we were in the Kentucky Derby.
That happens, but you're on the phone now. So Dan and I don't know where the Preakness is. So I know it sounds very ignorant of us, but where is it?
No, a lot of people don't know where it is. It's actually in Baltimore, and the racetrack is called Pimlico. And so actually we're leaving tonight, and we're going there. It's an older track. It's run down. But, one of the reasons it's so important is because it is the second leg or the second jewel of the Triple Crown.
But it's run down?
That's, it's run down a little bit.
That's a lot of money to be involved with it, not to be run down.
Well, I think a lot of times it just has to do with, the interest of a lot of wealthy people who help support the track and, who runs it. But it's not, it's not like going to the Kentucky Derby, which is an amazing, Churchill Downs is absolutely gorgeous. And you get to see all the people. It's different because there's so many traditions, especially the fact that, the Kentucky Derby has always been housed in the same place for 140 years. It's the oldest continuous sporting event in the United States. So that inspires a lot of tradition in itself. The Preakness has not always been at Pimlico, and the dates have kind of changed. Sometimes, early on in the late 1800s and the 1900s. The way it is now is you have Derby, Preakness, and Belmont. And those over the years have changed very early on, late 1800s, early 1900s. But now this is the kind of way we know as the Triple Crown.
Right. So there was a story the other day, and I don't have it in front of me, so I can't remember what the medicine was called. But there was a compounded medicine that they were blaming for some sick horses. Do you want to touch on that real quickly?
Yeah, I can touch on that. I didn't hear that report. All I heard last night late is that California Chrome was doing some coughing.
Yeah, I heard he was sick too. Yeah.
Yeah, they may have to pull him from the race. I guess we'll know more today. But I didn't know that there was some medication that was necessarily causing them to do some coughing. Well, I think one of the problems I think that we have today is that there's the standard sorts of medications that we have, and then sometimes some veterinarians like to use some compounded medications.
That's what this was.
Usually. Yeah, and I think I do think I recall running across something about the compounding, but apparently that compounding didn't necessarily have the right percentages of the ingredients that it was supposed to have.
Oh, so that was human error.
It was to treat, I just found it was to treat the equine protozoal myeloencephalitis, and the horses lived right here.
It sounds like the flu.
In Ocala.
Yeah.
It says here. Yeah. Well, that's pretty scary.
You refreshed my memory. Yes. That was a compounded medication instead of one that was naturally produced by the pharmaceutical companies in the batches that they normally produce.
Are the horses tested for like performance enhancing drugs like athletes are in the human world?
Yes.
Oh, they are.
Yes. After every race, they're tested. Races like this, they're all tested. On the tracks for the less celebrated races, they may be spot tested. They always test the winner. Sometimes the second and the third horse are tested too, but not always all of the horses that are in the race. But you never know if you're going to be tested or not.
Well, there is so much money involved in this. I can't believe they would make a simple mistake like messing up the compound.
Sure. Oh, that one.
That
Yeah,
was a bad mistake.
That's a lot. I mean, you have a prize. Wow, that's lawsuit after lawsuit just waiting to happen.
When we shifted over to the performance enhancing drugs, you guys were chatting.
Sorry.
That's all right. Hey, Charlotte, are you betting on the race?
Of course I'm betting on the race. I'm always working on my handicap. I'm thinking about the dirt. I'm thinking about the track. Have the horses ever run the track before? You know, it's funny because a lot of expert cappers watch the horses work out in the morning, in the dawn, and in the dusk. I did that obviously at the Kentucky Derby. I wasn't able to go. I mean, I'm not able to go earlier to Baltimore. But you know, it's interesting to see. You know how I started getting interested in racehorsing when I went to school in Europe because I had a lot of these posh English friends who always went to all the derbies and horse racing back in the day. But, you know, it's interesting now because what you find when, especially at the Derby or the Preakness or even the Belmont Stakes, a lot of times you go because you want to have a good time and you want to go party and, you know, all the gals get dressed up and drink the signature drinks. Tomorrow's signature drink is the Black-Eyed Susan, you know, versus the mint julep at the Derby.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Belmont, what is Black-Eyed Susan?
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah, what is a Black-Eyed Susan?
It's vodka, orange juice, a little cranberry juice, you know. Nice tall glass. So you go, you have your drink, you have a good time. You know, maybe you've bet on the colors that you like because you don't know anything about horses, or you like the number or something. But then eventually you meet these great people, but the conversation stops because eventually turn to the person to the left and turn to the person at the right. And they're talking about the horses, what they've won, what they didn't.
Right.
So I find that a lot of people who start getting into race horsing and going to the races, then they say, okay, I better learn something real quick.
Yeah.
Because the more you know, you get to meet people.
Isn't it horse racing?
You know, what? I'm sorry?
I said, isn't it horse racing? You keep saying race horsing. Is it race horsing? Horse racing.
Well, I also want to respond to something that you said earlier about the jockeys.
Okay.
You know,
I got here.
It's such a dangerous job being a jockey, and people don't realize until they actually see an accident where the jockey is thrown. You know, he's not harnessed to the horse, and the horse is running at top speed. And I mean, we happened to see a really bad accident where like two jockeys were hurt very, very badly in Kentucky, and you know, concussions, the horses. I mean, so it's a very difficult job.
I bet it is. It looks like it'd be super difficult. Yeah. So are you in Sarasota right now?
We're Sarasota, Bradenton.
Okay. So you're heading up there. Well, when you pass through Ocala, wave. You're not going to see us again.
We think of you all the time, and you know what? I practically cried when we didn't get to talk to you during Kentucky Derby.
We got your card. Thank you so much for the card. It was sweet. Dr. Fleck, I have something to tell you or ask you. Do you know,
yes.
and you don't have to answer this. I'm just going to ask it as a rhetorical because I don't want to get you in trouble. Have you ever seen a man's face at a strip club? That's a yes, right?
Which one of my friends?
A man, any man, right? That's the same face that a woman makes when she's gambling. So be careful with Charlotte. When women go to like a slot machine, they got that same blank look on their face that men have at a strip club.
No.
Yeah, they do.
I am not the least bit interested in slot machines.
But you're gambling.
I have no interest in slot machines.
How much money
you
is
know, I
it
like
for
to
the poker?
gamble a little. I don't play poker.
What are you doing? Roulette? What's your
How
game?
I got interested in the horses and thoroughbred racing was the whole history of it all.
Oh, all right,
I
all right.
like the history.
Yeah, Charlotte and Dr. Fleck, thank you for being on. We've run out of time again. The website for you guys is, what's your Facebook page?
Sure, you tell them what it is. I can't remember.
Dr. Fleck's mad because I answered that question.
The Dynamic Pet Duo.
Pet Duo.
Right.
Go to our Facebook page. You'll see updates. If you can't go to Pimlico, go to one of your kennel clubs.
Charlotte, have fun.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. In the fight against wildfires around San Diego, a flare-up Thursday in the San Marcos area has even more people told to clear out, joining this man who already fled.
There's black smoke in the sky, and then the fire department came to the door and said you have to evacuate immediately. There's a life-threatening situation here.
He came back to find his house unlivable. There are cooler temperatures in the forecast for today. The head of the Veteran Affairs Department under fire.
Veterans Affairs Secretary Eric Shinseki is mad as hell over accusations books were cooked to hide treatment delays at a Phoenix clinic.
I could use stronger language here, Mr. Chairman, but in deference to the committee, I won't.
Senate Veterans Affairs Committee members press Shinseki on problems not just in Phoenix, but throughout the VA system.
Fox News Radio's Jared Halpern. Fox News, we report, you decide.
There's more to Fox News Radio than meets the ear. Go behind the headlines and join the conversation on the hottest stories of the day on the Fox News Radio Facebook page. Be a part of the Fox News Radio Facebook fan community. Post comments and tell us your opinions. See behind-the-scenes photos and videos and post your reactions to the stories that matter to you. Click the like button on Facebook and connect with breaking news and features like Fox in the Fast Lane, House Call for Help, and more. Go to Facebook.com/Fox News Radio.
Weeknights, we're busting out a brand new lineup. First, market fraud, government abuse, corruption. At 5, nothing's off limits on money with Melissa Francis. Then, from bloated bank fees to consumer scams. At 6, Jerry's exposing the issues impacting your wallet. Plus, get smart market insight and trusted analysis you won't find anywhere else. At 7, Lou Dobbs is all business. And the first and last name in business, Cavuto. Shedding light on the biggest stories making headlines at 8. Only on the Fox Business.
Yeehaw! Howdy, folks. RL here to invite you to DQ. Dairy Queen is serving the crispiest, juiciest, most tasty chicken tenders, all beef chili dogs, and quarter-pound cheeseburgers on earth. And you get crispy fries, a drink, and an ice cream sundae of your choice for only $5. Remember, at DQ, you can lick their cones, but you can't beat their shakes. Dairy Queen, Silver Springs, where they always treat you like kings and queens.
In honor of our great American war heroes, Palm Chevrolet of Ocala will make history during our pre-memorial sales event. We must sell 178 vehicles to break our all-time sales record. Every vehicle at historically low prices. Get the biggest discounts and the most for your trade-in with no hassle or negotiations. Get up to $7,000 more than your old car is worth. 2014 Chevy Cruze, just $149 per month. Or get up to $10,000 off all remaining 2014 Silverado trucks. Plus, the lowest rates for all types of credit. Fast and easy, even if your credit is less than perfect. Plus, all military personnel, active duty, reserves, retired, includes spouses, will receive additional military rebates on top of our low prices. Thank you for your service. Palm Chevrolet of Ocala, 2300 Southwest College Road, exit 350, just east of I-75 in beautiful Ocala.
36-month lease, $28.92 at signing, plus tax, title, license with approved credit, 0 security deposit, max trade value from Kelley Blue Book Fair Trade towards purchase of select models. Offers not in combination. Find new roads.
PalmChevrolet.com.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
When a woman quits her career to have kids, she's typically leaving during her highest earning years. In a case of divorce, she should be compensated for what she gave up. Instead of a day off, plan a stop day, a day when we completely cease all labors and relax. The longest amount of time both of you can be silent before the moment becomes officially awkward, 4 seconds.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Legally Yours, brought to you by Fuller & Fuller Attorneys at Law. On the air every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. with John Fuller, a board-certified civil trial lawyer for over 25 years. John welcomes your questions, from business to complex family matters to legal disputes. So tune in every Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. for Legally Yours with John Fuller, right here on WOCA 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, The Source.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA, Ocala. Ocala.